It's always been my dream to play women's nationals, and I think after this, I know I just need to keep pushing myself and keep working harder, and I think it is achievable one day for me.
Welcome to episode 296 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joel McFarland. What a week it's been for baseball in our province, and we'll start with the big news of the week as St. Albert's Erik Sabrowski was called up to the Cleveland Guardians Wednesday morning. The AHP Academy product and coach has been through a lot in recent years, including 2 Tommy John surgeries, but has been lighting it up on the farm, going 8-3 with a 3.51 ERA and 36 relief appearances, split between AA and AAA. He's also struck out 79 batters in just 48 2/3. It looked like he might get into Wednesday's game against Kansas City as he was starting to warm up in the 7th inning with the Guardians down 5-2. Then they put up a 4 spot and his team brought in the high leverage guys. So we'll see whether he gets a chance to make his MLB debut this weekend during a set against Pittsburgh starting Friday, or if they send him back down to Columbus. Calgary's Michael Soroka is back on the field again after a stint on the IL with a shoulder strain. He made his first rehab appearance in AAA on Tuesday, allowing just 1 hit and then plunked 1 batter, but he got out of his 1 inning of relief work unscathed. Big congratulations to Dogs Academy product Alejo Lopez, who's been named the International League's Player of the Week. He hit .542 with 13 hits and 12 RBI during the week with the Gwinnett Stripers. When rosters expand September 1st, one has to wonder if Tristan Peters gets a shot in Tampa Bay. The Dogs Academy and Okotoks Dogs alum has had a solid season in AAA, hitting .236 with 9 homers, 39 RBI, and 8 stolen bases for the Durham Bulls. Fellow Dogs product Matt Lloyd is putting together a fantastic campaign with the AA Springfield Cardinals. He's now hitting .271 with 15 homers, 65 RBI, and 12 stolen bases in 104 games. Vauxhall Academy's Adam Macko is off the IL finally. He made his first start in over a month with the Dunedin Blue Jays Saturday, allowing 1 run on 2 hits with a walk and no strikeouts in 2 innings of work in a 6-5 extra innings loss to Clearwater. And with Sabrowski getting called up, some people are wondering if another Alberta-trained product might be getting a promotion in the not-too-distant future. Matt Wilkinson has been lights out this season, jumping from single A to high A, and is among the minor league leaders in strikeouts. He did get roughed up in a start on Wednesday, allowing 2 runs on 7 hits while striking out 5 in a 7-5 loss to Cedar Rapids. Tugboat is still 7-6 in 23 starts this season, posting an ERA of just 2, and he's also posted 169 strikeouts in 112 plus innings of work. We'll get a few more pro updates for you on next week's show. And some other big news around Alberta this past week. An old friend of the show is becoming a coach here in Alberta. Former MLB slugger Matt Stairs has been named as the hitting coordinator for Dogs Academy in Okotoks. He's been a frequent visitor to Okotoks with the last few WCBL All-Star games, and he got the sense he enjoyed his time here, and as it turns out, he did. In other news around baseball in this province, the final weekend of Baseball Canada National Championships were held, with Alberta adding to the medal haul. Baseball Alberta picked up silver at the Ray Carter 15U Championship and the 16U Girls Championship, as well as 4th at the Men's Nationals and 10th at the 13U Nationals. Congratulations to all the teams on representing this province proudly. Congratulations as well to Red Deer Minor Baseball on winning the 14U division at the Rawlings Cup last weekend in Sherwood Park. A tip of the cap as well to the Old Spitfires on taking home the 16U title. That sets the stage for a big weekend in St. Albert with the annual Western Canada Prospect Series. The 14U and 16U squads have been named, with St. Albert's Curtis Miller heading up the 14U coaching staff, while Josh Bishop has the reins of the 16U team. That tournament will also see teams from BC, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. This weekend is also a big one in Sherwood Park as the world's longest baseball game takes over Sakers Acres. The game will take over 100 hours to play, with money being raised for the Cure Cancer Foundation. You can head to worldslongestgame.ca for all the details, and we'll get you an update on how things went on next week's show. On to this week's guests now, and we will head back to the national scene where the Red Deer CarStar Braves took home the gold medal at the 18U Championships in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador a couple of weeks ago. The team went 6-0 during the tournament, capped off with a 12-2 win over BC. One of the stars of the team was shortstop Jake Brooks, who was named the tournament MVP at the Baseball Alberta Elite League Championships and followed that up with another solid performance at Nationals. Jake, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yes, thank you.
Jake Brooks, 2024 18U National Champion. How does that sound?
Sounds unreal. Wasn't expecting it at the start of the year, but it was pretty cool.
You mentioned that start of the year, and I want to start there. You guys gather for the first time, and you kind of played with each other for a while, but did you think you had a championship team on your hands?
It's weird because I've played on this is my third year on the team, and our first 2 years felt the same. It felt like we were the best in the league, and we had a chance, and it was our year. But this year, we kind of struggled more towards the start, and we actually faced some adversity, which I've never done with this team in the past. We've always just dominated until provincials, and then as soon as we face something, it's like we're not used to it. But I think this year, the start of the year, especially when we were struggling and stuff, it kind of taught us to stay in it, even when we're not doing too good, which kind of helped us in games and provincials when we were down 3-1 in the 7th inning in the semis, and when we have to play a quarterfinal when we're not expecting it. So I think our struggles at the start of the year kind of helped us on Sunday in provincials.
Mm-hmm. You look at that lineup, especially early on, you've got Nathan Flewelling as an example. You've got some guys, again, who you've had for a while. Were you confident, though, that this team would be able to kind of turn the corner a little bit, especially after those early season struggles?
It was kind of hard to tell early. We went to a tournament in Vauxhall, and we were terrible. And everyone was looking down. We were all kind of whatever, but we had the week after a practice, we all talked together. We were figuring it out, and we went to Weber that weekend after and had 2 big come-from-behind wins on our last 2 games there. And I think that's when we all kind of realized that if we all bought in, we got a chance. We just got to pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Heading into the summer on a personal level, did you have any goals or expectations of yourself?
Yeah, my first year I was really good, and then last year was kind of a disappointment, so I was just trying to get more into what I was doing my first year, and it started off really good. I was hitting the ball well, but I think playing so many innings, I was able to grind till the end of the year, but the start of the year was definitely better for me, and I'm happy to see that I can do what I did at the start.
We chatted with Coach Sinoli a few weeks back, and he said you were a rock star at short all season. What was working for you when you look at the big picture? I know you had your ups and downs, but what really kind of felt good is when times are good for you?
Well, defensively, it's always, for me, has been, never really felt like I've slumped defensively. Like, it's just, once you get confidence and you keep making plays, it's kind of hard to lose it. Hitting for me is what's whatever. When I'm feeling good, it's like everything, and you just don't think about anything. You almost think about hitting it harder, you swing as hard as you can, and you're still making good contact. But once you get struggling, you're thinking about so many things, and you try and slow down your swing to make sure that you're doing it right, and then you just never hit it. So I think it's all about confidence for me. It's just when I'm swinging it and trusting my hands on defense and all the stuff like that, that's when I'm my best.
You head into that BAEL championship weekend, and it was a roller coaster. You and I were talking about it off air. You're 2-2 and really kind of grinding through it. What's the vibe like, though, in that dugout as you're trying to get your feet under you?
I think everyone, we came in second in the standings going into it, but everyone kind of knew on our team that we were probably the team to beat. So it's kind of an added pressure that we put on ourselves. And the heartbreak over the past 2 years kind of makes it know that it's not going to happen every year. So our first game we won 3-2 against Sherwood. That was scary. We were down late. And then we kind of went into the Cubs game knowing that we can't take anything for granted, and it happens in baseball. You can lose to a team that's seated much lower than you, but I think knowing that we could come back from that, we lose to the Cubs and we still have a chance. I think we were staying up, but it was very nervous. Everyone was very nervous about it all weekend.
Mm-hmm. Then you go into that final and you put up a real big number and put on the big victory. Take us into the dog pile after you win it all. What was that like?
It was like a release of everything. I guess I was, me, Dom Schonsberg, and Sawyer Marshall were on the team for the 2 years prior to, and we were heartbreak, and we finally got one. So it was just a release of everything. It felt amazing.
For yourself personally, you're named tournament MVP. What did that mean to you?
I thought it was cool. We were obviously all celebrating together, but to get an individual shout out, and I think it was pretty cool. I didn't at the start of the tournament didn't hit amazing, but towards the end when it meant something, it was nice to get a few hits and play good defense.
What's that whirlwind like afterwards? Because then it's kind of like, okay, now we got to get plane tickets and we got to get on our way out east kind of thing. What was that like as you're trying to navigate it all and get yourself also ready for a national championship?
Yeah, it was. Well, we took the week off after, and it kind of felt like a vacation. We got back the week before nationals, and we were all like knocking some rust off. I think the week we needed a week to recover and then get back at it. But I heard one of the guys on our team, like parents were booking plane tickets right after the game was over, and everyone's trying to get a seat on the plane so they make it there on time. It was crazy. And then you got 2 weeks to recover from provincials, then to go to nationals, having no clue what to expect. We don't know what team's good. We don't know what pool. We don't know. It was just, once we got there and got settled in, it was nice because mine was going a million different ways before that.
Well, and you settled in real nice, too. I mean, You guys go 6-0, outscoring your opponent 66-16.
Yeah.
What's that tournament like as a player when you're rolling like you guys were?
It was awesome. All year it's been like our pitching and defense has carried us through games, and it was kind of nice to see that we won a few games by putting up 4 in the first inning and letting our pitcher just go attack the hitters. And it felt, especially around robin, it felt really easy. And then getting into Sunday, we have a chance. That's all we need to lock in. And some crazy things happen, and we won it.
You get the final out. You seal the deal. You've got the gold medal. Who are you hugging first?
After we dogpiled whatever, my little brother's the bat boy, so he was running out there, and I went and hugged him. But after we all take the picture and stuff, my mom's usually there right on the side, so I went to her.
What's that feel like when they're giving you the gold medal?
It's for provincials and nationals, it was much different. I feel like provincials, it was like excitement and joy and whatever, and then for nationals, it was more just like shock and kind of like bittersweet, because you know that there's nothing after that. Like it's last time with your team, but it was still really cool. Like, wouldn't have it another way, obviously. Absolutely.
Whether it be provincials or nationals, do you also get that moment to kind of take that step back and go, man, I can't believe we got to do this?
Yeah, that was especially in nationals. We were all tired, and we ran out to the scoreboard for our picture, and then on the way back, it was kind of like you look around and you're under the lights, and it's like, wow, we actually did win nationals.
Unbelievable. Again, congratulations on that. I want to get back into your baseball past a little bit here, Jake, and get to know you a little bit. How'd you get into the game in the first place?
Well, I was mostly hockey when I was younger, but I moved to Innisfail, and I lived right beside Nathan Quillen, and we kind of played together, and we just played catch, and then we got on the same team because Nate's dad was the coach. We just kept going up, and we played every year together until this year. So it was mostly being with Nathan and kind of growing up around each other got us both into it.
What was it like seeing his name pop up on the board in mid-July there as he got drafted?
It was so cool. We're all over there. We're all like, he's on phone calls while we're over there. We're trying to get a sneak peek into what's happening, and he didn't really tell any of us what was going on. And I saw him creep up the stairs when it was around like the 92nd pick, and we knew something was up. So it was cool when we saw his name, because it was a surprise for most of us.
For those who haven't been able to play with Nate, describe him as a player in your eyes.
He's just, especially over the last few years, he's just so strong. He does everything, hits it harder, throws it faster. He's also, my favorite thing about playing with him is he could be so much better than everyone else on the team, and he won't act like it. He's just there with the fellas, and it's nice to have him around. We miss him around too.
Mm-hmm. Growing up, did you have a favorite player, or maybe a guy that you had poster up on the wall?
I always watched Dansby Swanson when I was little, play for Vanderbilt on YouTube, and then once he got drafted, I kept following around him. But when I was younger, it was probably him. But right around now, it's probably Dansby Swanson still and Trey Turner. I like to watch them play.
Absolutely. When you think back on it, do you remember that aha moment, like where you mentioned hockey as being the game, but everybody kind of goes, okay, I like baseball, it's fun, but do you remember that moment where you went, okay, maybe I can do something with this and maybe I want to chase this dream?
Yeah, it was I think it was probably my first year, U18. I was still playing hockey in Red Deer, and I was playing baseball as well, and there was one weekend where Gavin Galenza wasn't there, and he was our leadoff hitter, so they stuck me in the leadoff, and I hit good, and I thought I got to play there the next weekend when everyone was back too, and I continued to do good, and then I thought maybe I can do something because I'm competing when I'm 15 against the 18-year-olds, so I think it was then where I realized that if I just focused on baseball, then just get a chance I can go somewhere.
I have a feeling that the last few weeks have provided a lot of highlights, but maybe take us into one of your favorite moments when you're a young kid, one of those times where you're just like, man, I can't believe I get to do this as, 11-year-old as an example. Do you have a favorite moment looking back on it?
Baseball-wise, I think me and Nathan were younger, and we got called out to play in the U13 team when we were in U11. That was pretty cool because we was in Innisfail, our hometown, so we know a lot of the boys and we looked up to them. I thought that was pretty cool when we got to go play in Parentas with them.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. On the flip side of that, we know baseball is a game of failure, and so I like asking this question is, what's been the biggest hurdle or that biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome over your young career?
I'd say honestly, it's probably just looking past stats, like not trying to figure out how to make your team mentally win the game instead of worrying about all your stats and I'm only hitting whatever. I think it's once I started focusing on how can I perform to make the team win instead of how can I perform to make my stats better. Mm-hmm. I think that's when honestly my stats went up and then the team got better.
It's amazing how that happens, is that you kind of take some pressure off of yourself in the smallest possible way, and all of a sudden things really click for you, so that's really cool to hear. A few fun ones for you here, Jake. When you're at the ballpark as a fan, what's your favorite go-to food?
I'd say when I go to the Gulls game, they got the Dorito dog, and that's my favorite.
That's a pretty good one. I have to admit, I got my first one this past summer, and I might have to go back for sure. Yeah. As a player, do you have your favorite walk-up tune?
Mine's Boombastic. It's upbeat. It's fun. Everyone likes it, so I like that one.
Absolutely. And finally, who's your baseball hero?
I don't know. There's MLB-wise, you could say, but I'd say when we were little and we got to watch the Jays when they were good, I'd say Bautista and Encarnacion. That was a treat to watch.
Absolutely. A few more for you here before we let you go here, Jake. First off, what's next for you now that you've got the season kind of wrapped up and you got a few things probably still on the go, but what's next on your to-do list?
We go to St. Joe's in a few weeks, but from now until then, I'll just probably golf as much as I can, get baseball out of my mind, and then restart in September.
Very cool. Do you have any expectations of yourself when it comes to getting a college commitment, for example, or are you still waiting things out? What's on that list?
That's obviously the goal. Go as far as I can. Just gotta, the focus this winter is just get bigger, get some strength, and then see what happens from there.
Absolutely. A couple of ones that we usually ask the athletes here on the show. When you get back and you say you're going to St. Joe's and you see some of those young kids, or maybe you're in the stands and you're talking to those young kids who are watching you play for the Braves, and they ask for those words of advice or words of wisdom to get to where you're at now, what would you say to them?
Honestly, it'd be what I said before. So don't worry about stats. Don't worry about people think if you're good or if you're not. If you go to each game, just focused on doing anything you can to make your team win. That's all you got to do. You could be hitting 200 or 400 and have the same impact.
Great stuff. Final question for you, Jake. It's one we ask everybody here on the show. What does the game of baseball mean to you?
It means everything. We got all my friends are on my team. All my memories have been from baseball. I played hockey when I was little, but it doesn't compare to what I've done through baseball. It's the adults also I've met in my life, like Zanoli and Chatwood. They've shaped me as well. It's a lot has come with it.
Fantastic stuff. Well, Jake, really appreciate the time again. Congratulations on the provincial championship. Congratulations on the national championship. Congrats on all the success to this point. Continued success going forward at St. Joe's and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Staying on the national scene, we head over to the girls' 16U championships in Saskatoon, where Alberta had a 2-2 record heading into the playoffs, then beat Manitoba in the quarterfinals and Ontario in the semis to get themselves a date with Quebec in the final, where they lost a heartbreaker 6-1. Edmonton's Claire Hingley was named Defensive Player of the Tournament for her efforts, and we caught up with her earlier this week. Claire, thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Yeah, of course.
Let's start here. Have you taken that silver medal off yet?
I had to take it off when we were traveling, but I have it hung up in a pretty special place in my room with all the other medals.
Oh, you have other medals too. Okay, now that makes a lot of sense. So do you have a plan in place to maybe show this one off in a particular location at some point down the road in the house, or you like your spot where you got them now?
I like my spot in my room. I have the other bronze medals from last year we won, and then I have a little cabinet with the MVP ball that I won this year that we show it off to everybody who walks in our house.
Very cool. Is that trophy case getting full?
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, Dad, you need a bigger trophy case. Get on that.
Yeah,
There's your Christmas present for this year. That is awesome. All right, let's chat about this latest tournament here. It's a bit of a roller coaster to start things off, especially in that round robin. What's being said in the dugout to keep the team on track? Or are you all naturally like, you know what, we'll just go out and win the next one?
Well, after our first loss, we were all a little bit nervous going into the next game, but we just kept telling ourselves that we're a better team here and that if we work as a team and stick to our game plan, then the next ones are going to come easy.
Then you go on that roll, you win quarters and semis. Let's go back to that win in the quarters, though, against Manitoba. That thing looked crazy from the outset. 30-2 was the final. Have you ever been a part of a game like that before?
I don't think so, no. Going into that game, we were all a little bit nervous. We knew it was a must-win game, and for me personally, I've played 2 quarterfinal games before, but that one, after the first inning, we were leading 16-0, and after that, we knew we just had to keep our heads, stay in the game, and just keep rolling.
What was working for the team in those 2 games? Because the offense really came out to play in both the quarters and the semis.
Mm-hmm. We were just swinging our bats good. We hitting first pitch, not letting ourselves get too deep into counts, and playing as a team. Everything, especially in that semifinal game, was base hits. Nobody was trying to do too much, just play base by base, and it ended up working for us.
You mentioned that you've been in this tournament before, so you kind of knew what to expect. What kinds of things are you telling some of the younger players who maybe haven't been a part of something as big as this, where they're maybe repping Alberta for the first time?
Yeah, we did have a couple players. It was their first tournament, and I was just telling everybody to stay calm and trust each other. Personally, even I was super nervous in that semifinal game, and I just told our girls to keep your heads in the game, and if you need help or anything, just let each other know because we had each other's back.
Then it gets into the final. It's a tough battle. I know in the moment after the final out is recorded and you've recorded that loss, but at the same time, how proud are you of the team for doing what they did to get to that moment?
I'm so proud of all the girls. We battled so hard to that last inning, and in the 6th inning, it didn't go our way. We made an error, but we battled back, got the last innings of the game, and we had a chance to come back.
Mm-hmm. Looking back on it, and you've done it a few times already, but what's it mean to you to be able to rep Alberta and in this particular case, bring another medal home?
It means so much to me, not even just the fact that we get to play baseball on a national level, but we get to make these bonds with girls that I would never meet unless we played together, and even girls on other teams that I would never, ever get to meet before. And it means so much to me just to be able to represent the team with the girls I love playing the sport I love.
Mm-hmm. After you played an attorney like this, I'm always curious, how much more driven do you become to A, do it again, but B, maybe do it at a higher level?
It always makes me like want it more for sure, especially after knowing how well we can succeed in just 1 year. It always makes me want to push myself more for next year to win the gold medal and next year to go up to Women's Open and do well in there too.
What would it mean to you to maybe play on the women's national team one day?
It's always been my dream to play women's nationals. And I think after this, I know I just need to keep pushing myself and keep working harder. And I think it is achievable one day for me.
In your eyes, how good is the girls program in Alberta? Because you've been a part of it for a while now. And I said this after last year. You brought home, there was 2 bronze and a gold from 14U and then bronze for 16U and the Open. This year, more medals on the way. Like, take us into that dugout. Like, do you all know how good you are?
We do. Yeah, I think we do. And our coaches, they tell us how good we are too. They've done such a good job developing girls from the young age. Like, I started playing with this team when I was 14. I played U14 and then I underage for U16. And even from the beginning, they've always been developing the young girls to be who they are now. And they always just tell us that if we play our game and trust what we've learned and what they've taught us, that we're going to go far.
In your eyes, what makes Alberta such a good team on the national stage and keep medaling like you do?
I think it's honestly off the field more than it is on the field. Because we as skilled as we are, we believe in each other off the field, and we're so close as a team that it just ties everything together.
Very cool. Let's get into your personal baseball past here a little bit, and we'll start with, how'd you get into the game in the first place when you were growing up?
When I was around 6, my dad's friend, he started the Confederation Cubs, and it was my sister's age that was playing, and then I wanted to be part of it too, so I joined their team as an underage. And then just growing up, I've always played a little bit younger than the other kids, but I've always loved it, and it just kept going from there.
And from what I understand, you're also a multi-sport. What other sports have you played growing up?
I've played hockey since I was a really young age as well, and then also a bit of basketball.
And what is it about baseball that made you go, this is kind of a cool sport?
It's just so like demanding, and like it makes you push yourself to be a better person. And I think the fact that baseball is such a mental game makes me stronger in so many ways. And then I knew that this was the sport that I wanted to play growing up.
Do you remember that moment where it kind of flipped for you, where it's like at certain points you're like, okay, this is a fun game to play. Do you remember that moment where you're like, hey, maybe I've got a future in this? Like maybe I can play at a pretty high level here.
I don't remember the exact moment, but I think it was last year after we won that bronze medal in U16 nationals, and I realized like how much I really love the game and that this is the sport I want to take to college or wherever the next level is for me. And then that's when I really decided to push myself and to get better at it.
On a personal note, for me, the first time I remember hearing your name would have been at the Baseball Alberta Awards last year. You were the 16U Girls Player of the Year. Looking back on that, what did that recognition mean to you?
It was such an honor for me. There were so many well players on our team last year that could have deserved that medal or that award, sorry. And it was such an honor just to get recognized, because then that made me realize myself too that I can do what I put my mind to.
Mm-hmm. Looking back on the young career to this point, do you have any favorite moments or memories on the field where you had to take that step back and go, I can't believe I accomplished this, or we got to do this together?
Well, obviously this year was one of those moments for sure in that semifinal game. And then also our bronze medal game last year against Newfoundland. I pitched the first 6 1/3 innings in that game. And then my teammate Sid, she carried out the game, and just realizing that we went all that way. We went through quarters. We lost a tough game in semis, but we battled back and won that bronze medal was a huge moment for me.
On the flip side, we know baseball is a game of failure. And so I like asking this question is, looking back on it, what's been the biggest hurdle or obstacle you've had to overcome over your young baseball career?
I think just like tough games, tough losses. I've had a lot in my career where we've lost in semis or we've lost in quarterfinals. Even with like the boys teams I play on, it'd be tough tournament games where we've lost, but then we come back and we win the next one, and just keeping your mind to it and not letting up, even though you may be low and you may not have all the faith in yourself or your team.
Few fun ones for you here, Claire. First off, when you're a fan at the ballpark, what's your favorite food that you get at the concessions?
Ooh, I think it's got to be either like taco in a bag or some sort of burger or hot dog.
Taco in a bag is a solid choice and totally underrated too. I don't know why more people don't. Everybody seems to go hot dog. I'm like, no. The taco in a bag, depending on the barn, can be really, really good. If you get your pick of a walk-up tune, what is it?
I've always liked more like of an upbeat tune. This year my team, Alberta team, we were leaning more to some country. Like our go-to was, we didn't actually have walk-ups this year, but our go-to was Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
Oldie
or some
but a
more
goodie.
like country pump up.
Absolutely. If you weren't playing baseball, what would you likely be doing?
Probably playing basketball or like a different sport all year round.
Sports nut all the way through. I love it. A couple more for you before we let you go here, Claire. These are kind of standard across the board for the athletes we have on the show. When looking back on it, I mean, you're still in the thick of things as a young athlete, but let's say you see some of those young girls who are wanting your autograph, or they're just getting started out on their baseball journey, and you could provide that one piece of advice or those words of wisdom to get them to maybe where you are now. What would you say to them?
I think I would say just to believe in yourself and to be your own advocate. I know like when I was young, I was always looking up to other girls who were older and getting into that field, and they were just saying that prove yourself right before everybody else, and that as long as you believe in yourself, you can do whatever it takes. You don't need other people's approval.
Who was it that you leaned on for that inspiration? Were there any particular players you were like, you latched onto kind of thing, or that took you under their wing?
There was always a couple female girls or female players, sorry, who were older than me, like such as Madison Willen. And just in general, every female player who I watched growing up just made me dream bigger.
Fantastic stuff. Final question for you. It's one we ask everybody here on the show. What does the game of baseball mean to you?
Baseball for me, it means more than just like being on the field. It means like the grit that it's shown me, the friendships I've made, everything, and like how it makes me dig deeper in myself to get what I want.
It's a fantastic answer, Claire. Well, really appreciate the time. Congratulations on the silver medal. Congrats on all the success to this point. Continued success next season and beyond. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to join us on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And finally, we head to the West Coast League, where the Edmonton Riverhawks are coming off another stellar campaign. Not only did they break their own attendance record during the season, attracting nearly 117,000 fans, but they earned themselves a playoff spot for the first time in franchise history, losing in 3 games to the Bellingham Bulls in the first round. The West Coast League recently named its all-star teams, and St. Albert's Tylor Jans was picked to the All-WCL second team after going 1-1 with 5 saves and a 1.65 ERA in 15 relief appearances, striking out 20. It's been a while since we last caught up with Jans, who was a guest back on episode 89. Tylor, thanks so much for coming back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's start here. Tylor Jans, All-WCL second team. How does that sound?
It's pretty cool. Didn't really have any hope of that coming, but it was pretty cool to just let that happen, and the way the year played out for myself and for the team as well.
What did it mean to you to get that recognition, especially to end the season the way you did?
It kind of meant a lot. It was my last year that I can play with the Riverhawks, so it was kind of cool to get that little nod and just kind of be with the team and see how everything progresses in Edmonton for baseball.
Now, the stats kind of speak for themselves, so I'll go beyond that. How did you feel about your performance this season?
I felt like I did pretty well. It was fun being a closer and just knowing like that was my role. So whenever we were in a close ball game, I would start getting ready to go in and go in and get the close.
Was that a weird adjustment for you to go from being a guy who's sort of used to going, hey, I'll go 5, 6, 7, 8 to, hey, I'm the guy that gets to shut the door?
A little bit, but you just got to change your routine around, and then you kind of click with something, and then you just keep on going from there, and just hopefully it works out.
Did you have a routine?
I did. I just made sure that I was ready to go around the seventh, eighth inning, and if they needed me for more than just a 3-out save, I was ready to go. But if it was just for 3 outs, I was ready to go as well.
I'm always curious in those situations where you're kind of sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting. Do you have any superstitions or any things that you have to do before you go out onto the hill for that one inning or whatever is required of you?
Not really any superstitions or anything. I just try and keep my body loose throughout the game, make sure I'm stretching so that if my name gets called, all I got to do is a couple bands and then get on the mound and get some throws in before out in the game mound.
So no weird stuff like I have to throw 3 pitches in the exact same order or spit in a certain direction at a certain time or anything like that.
No, sometimes as a relief pitcher, you don't got all that time in the bullpen. You just got to go before you're in the game.
That is fair. Looking back on the season, what was working for you that allowed you to accumulate the numbers you did?
I think it was just having good command on my fastball and my slider and not living in the middle of the plate, being able to live around the edges and get early outs as well as get some strikeouts as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Riverhawks set a record for attendance again this season. Take us into the dugout with a packed Remax Field. What's that like?
It's so cool just looking up around and seeing not a single empty seat in there, and just all the fans are engaged, and it's cool that they're allowed to come down onto the field and get signatures after the game, and it's just a great atmosphere there.
Have you perfected your autograph on a baseball yet?
Yeah, I have. It's you get used to it after a couple games.
Is it all scribbly lines, or have you kind of made it look sort of uniquely your own?
Kind of uniquely my own, but a little bit of scribbling here and there towards the end of signing.
I used to practice that as a kid, and I never got to put it into practice at all in real life. But I'm sure signing a baseball was certainly something a little bit different. Obviously, the team made it into the postseason for the first time in team history as well. I know it ended a lot sooner than you'd hope, but what did it mean to you and the team to be able to take it that next step?
It was very cool for the program. The first 2 years we were there, we kind of struggled a little bit, but we had a great group of guys this year, and it was good to just get that postseason win in Edmonton, and I was able to get the save there, and just it was cool to experience postseason baseball.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the fact that this is the first time and you'd had some struggles. What was different about this team in your eyes that made you guys get over the hump and allow you into the talk about postseason?
I think it started right from when the season, like the first couple practices, we kind of all just bonded together very quickly, and we all just meshed off each other, and the bats were going, our pitchers were going, and we were just clicking throughout the whole season, which was good.
I always say this about summer baseball is that it's a bit of a melting pot. You've got guys who are from the Edmonton area with the Riverhawks, for example, and you've got a bunch of guys from all over the planet, it seems like. And you got guys who are playing NCAA Division I ball all the way down to the smallest JUCO and even some high school guys. How cool is it to be able to be a part of that and to see all these different players with different backgrounds all coming together for one common goal?
It's pretty sweet. You get to see all the talent kind of all over the whole world pretty much, and you get the younger guys who are just getting their feet wet in college ball, and you got some older guys like myself, and you kind of can learn even being older from the younger guys, and the younger guys can take stuff into their college lives with the older guys.
This is your third summer with the team. What's it been like getting to throw in a stadium so close to home where you also probably watched a few games growing up?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was able to go to a couple ball games when I was younger, and it's kind of nice being able to be close to home so family and friends can come out and watch.
Have you had that? Did you have that opportunity over the course of the season to kind of take that step back, or maybe it's been over the last 3 seasons where you're just kind of like, man, I dreamed one day I get to pitch in this barn, and now here I am on the bump getting to do what I get to do?
Yeah, it's definitely a great experience. It's pretty cool to just look up in the stands all the time, and you see somebody you went to high school with, or you see somebody you know, and then you talk to them after the game, they're like super proud or like of you just being there.
Mm-hmm. As a savvy veteran, but also being from the area, do you get to play tour guide for some of the guys who are new to the area and that kind of thing? Show them the sights and sounds of Edmonton during the course of the season?
A little bit here and there. You kind of get close with some guys and you just take them out and show them how everything in Edmonton a lot of people want to come see the mall when they're in Edmonton, and it was kind of nice with the Oilers playoffs. We got to show them how Edmonton does hockey here too.
Very cool. Do you have a favorite, like, off the radar spot where you like to take them? Maybe it's a favorite burger joint or whatever the case may be that you're just like, yeah, this is my little piece of heaven kind of thing.
Oh, I don't know. A lot of us, we just go to like the brew house kind of close to the field, and we just get some good food there.
Very cool. Last time we chatted, hard to believe, was in the heart of the pandemic back in 2020. It was like 200 episodes ago or something like that. A lot has obviously changed over time. You've gone to school. You've done some pretty cool things. As you look back on the last 4 years, do you have any favorite highlights or memories?
Playing Division I baseball is definitely a big highlight, and just training at Absolute Human Performance, they kind of changed my game around. They got me to gain some velo and sharpen up my pitches a little bit to give me these opportunities to continue playing baseball.
What was that experience at ULM like?
It was very cool. It's a lot different than being in Edmonton, and you get to go to somewhere that's warm year round, and you experience the different types of people there, and it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned AHP. I love asking about the mad scientist known as Taylor Burns, but what does that guy do to the room when you get to work with him, and what does he bring to your game that maybe is as special as it seems to be?
He definitely goes into the small details and just make sure that you're going to show up every day, and if you show up every day, he's going to be there for you to try and help your game or whatever you want to do. If it's just getting bigger in the weight room for any different type of sport, he's there to help you.
As we record this, an AHP like product like yourself, Erik Sabrowski just got called up. I assume you had a chance to maybe work with him during an off season or two. How cool is it to see his name get registered with the Cleveland Guardians?
Oh, it's very cool to see that, and big congratulations to Erik. I played high school baseball with him in St. Albert, and I've been around him at AHP a bunch throughout the years as well.
What is it about his game that makes him so special in your eyes?
His very devastating curveball. A lot of people, it's even tough to just catch it when you're just playing light catch with him.
I always love asking those questions because it's just, you just kind of watch and go, okay, he's obviously good at his craft, but as somebody who gets to play catch with him, I'm sure it's a different kind of beast.
Yeah, it's fun playing catch indoors with him. Makes it a challenge.
I can only imagine. So looking ahead, what's next for Tylor Jans?
I'm currently an undrafted free agent right now, so just trying to test those waters out and see if I can get something, get into pro ball, and just go from there.
Fingers crossed for you, my friend. A couple more before we let you go here.
There's Erik warming up.
Oh, there he is. Perfect. Great timing. Now you're that savvy veteran getting that opportunity to chat with young players starting out in their baseball journey. What advice or words of wisdom are you giving to them as they're looking to maybe get to where you're at now?
Just pour your heart out into whatever you're doing and have fun. Baseball is a game of having fun, and once you stop having fun with it, then it starts to take over a lot more things, but make sure you have fun.
You've clearly had a lot of fun over the last few years, and hopefully you got a few more left in you. Really appreciate it, Tylor. Last question. We asked this the last time you were around. I'm curious how things have changed over the last 4 years when you answer this one. What does the game of baseball mean to you?
It means everything to me. I mean, you grow up as a little kid and seeing big leaguers, and you just kind of want to dream and play in the big leagues one day. So you just got to keep pushing yourself to get over those little humps every day and keep trying to do that.
Tylor, really appreciate the time. Thanks so much for coming back on the show. Congrats on all the success, the all WCL second team nod. All the best going forward. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks again to Jake Brooks, Claire Hingley, and Tylor Jans for joining us this week, and thanks to all of you for downloading and listening. If you like this or any other episode, make sure to leave us a rating and review, as those actions help spread the word about ADS. As always, a tip of the cap to our Platinum supporters, the Okotoks Dogs, Under the Light Sports and Entertainment, and the Western Canadian Baseball League, for their generosity in helping us cover costs like web hosting fees and travel. If you'd like to join our roster of sponsors, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.